Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is March the 9th, 2023, and today the topic is 1218. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday, everybody. I hope that you all had a great Wednesday. Mine was just fine. Before I get into a little snippet of what happened yesterday, listen, I gotta acknowledge that on this Thursday, y'all, it represents the 100th episode of season 9. Which means that those of y'all that have been following me from the beginning, you know that basically every 100 episodes means a new season. So that means tomorrow, if the Lord's will, it will be season 10. Man, to God be the glory. I know that my numbers are a little bit off when it comes to YouTube and stuff, because I should have, if my calculations are correct, I should have like 900, at least 900 episodes of The Juice alone. Not even counting anything else that I've done on the GSL YouTube channel or whatever. So I think that number is a little bit off, but I think what happened was when I took my vacation in 2021, I took some days off. And then obviously there's been some days that I haven't recorded, some random days of Sabbath that happened or whatever. Either I slept late or whatever the case is, that I might have didn't record when I said that I would. So I think that may be the reason why the numbers is a little bit off. But regardless, y'all, listen, 9th season, 100 episodes. To God be the glory. To God be the glory, y'all. I can't even, I can't even put into words really the magnitude of what is happening, right? What is taking place in my life, like what God is doing with me, for me, and through me with this segment, this show, whatever you guys look at this as, with the juice, your daily dose of inspiration. He truly has changed my life with the juice, your daily dose of inspiration. So thank you to anybody that listens, supports, shares, subscribes, any of those things, whether you watch it on YouTube or whether you listen to the podcast version, whatever the case may be. Thank you. You guys motivate me to keep going. Doing this holds myself accountable to what I said I was going to do for the Lord, which was take time for daily study and everything like that. And in that, the Lord has just blessed, multiplied, increased, so much so now where you guys know that I have the journals, Spanish and English versions of journals that was inspired by this segment, this show. Then now I have a small group at the church that I go to that is also inspired by this segment and show. Like, this was the first thing that I put out for GSL when I put the concept out to you all back in 2020. So to God be the glory, man. Listen, I can go on and on talking about this, but I just think it's amazing. And yeah. So, whew, all right. So anywho, let's get into to some other stuff. Yesterday. So, okay. Long story short. Listen, all I know is yesterday morning I felt led to email a potential venue, a potential space for Miracle Plays. And they got back to me on the same day, which I like that type of business. I try to do that type of business. So I love other businesses that do that. So, they got back to me on the same day. Next thing I know, I went from emailing them that morning to going to see a few venues yesterday that these people have. The price is sounding good. I may be partnering up with Sky's Designs as well. And so that's going to make things even better. like on one hand, this kind of came out of the blue, like so a bit of an unexpected blessing. So we're gonna see what the Lord do in regards to, um, yeah. I mean, I'll just leave it at that. I'm gonna see what the Lord do. I'm not going to talk down or anything, because I feel like the Lord has been chastising me just a little bit over the past few days in regards to trusting in Him fully, and yes, trusting Him with every aspect of my life. And yes, I feel like I've been getting a little better, but obviously, there's still room for improvement, right? And so, with that being said, I'm not going to knock the move of God. If the Lord wants me in that venue, any of the venues that I saw yesterday, then by all means, it will happen for me. And I believe that, I receive that. And I'm looking forward to sharing with y'all what the Lord do and everything regarding that. So that one is one of the main huge things that happened yesterday. Also, y'all know that I went to, do my small group, Madam Miraculous, the Miracle Lab with Madam Miraculous for the kiddos. About 20 kids was in there yesterday. I talked to them about joy, or excuse me, Madam Miraculous. Madam Miraculous talked to them about joy, and just on another level, obviously, mixing in that faith with science, showing them some experiments and whatnot. I even did a bit of an exercise on the fly with them, just letting them listen to different types of music to see how it affected the way they felt and things like that. So I mean, hey y'all, to God be the glory, man. I feel like it went really well. I used a experiment. I mean, it's a well-known experiment. It's called dancing raisins. I spoke to them that it was going to be representing joyful raisins and whatnot. And so they did that experiment. Those that follow me on social media, you may have seen, photos, but if not, you guys should probably see them sometime today, at least on Instagram and whatnot. But yeah, it went really well last night. Shout out to the other individuals that were there doing childcare as well, because they were in place, I could send NJ over there, right, with them while I worked with the older kids to do what I was doing. So yeah, man, it was a blessing. It all worked out. And yeah, that's yesterday in a nutshell. At least two main key things that happened. As for this conversation today, so okay, by the time I got home last night and I got showered and all that good stuff, and I got in bed, I was thinking that it was gonna be a little regular. I was just gonna tune in some different YouTube things, whatever. But I don't know. Like, well, one, I listened to my girl Dana Ray. Okay. Then there was another minister that I listened to as well. And both of those messages really resonated with me in regards to my faith, in regards to, God getting ready to move and shake some things in my life, praying for me and my husband, things like that. Oh, yeah, that's another significant thing that happened yesterday as well. My husband had this interview, and before the interview or whatever, we prayed, it was like me, him, and NJ. And the interesting thing is, when we let NJ pray, the thing that he said was, I thank God for waking us up this morning. And I said, wow, that's what he felt led to pray for when we was doing our family prayer. And so to God be glory for that. You know what I mean? Like, I remember the first few times praying with him and stuff like that. And, his prayers have elevated. I'll just put it like that. And everything. So anyway, that was another beautiful moment as well. But anywho, apparently husband's interview went well. And so, yeah, I'm just praying for him, praying that God does whatever he wants to do in our life, the elevation in any aspect that he wants to do. And yeah, we expecting good reports, good news, more continued abundance 2023 type things to share with you all. But yeah, so that stuff was on my heart and mind yesterday. And so by the time I started to just clear my mind to actually just go to sleep, it was 12:18, and I made a note of that. And so when I woke up this morning, I listened to the prayer meditation and everything like that. But I went back to take a look at 12:18. I looked at the Strong's Concordance as well. And, there was some interesting things there. It was saying like swelling was one of the words that came up with 12:18 in the Strong's. And then what was the other? I think it was just like common person or common people, something like that. When I went deeper in looking into that a little bit more, I was seeing like democracy and things like that, and whatnot. And I'm sure there's something there as well. But I mean, my mind was a little bit all over the place because I was, I guess, being disobedient. Okay, so let me tell y'all this real quick. So basically, I had posted some photos from yesterday on my Facebook, and a friend of mine commented below one of the photos. I was holding a worksheet that said it was representing joy, and it says Jesus first, others second, yourself last. And it pretty much reminds me of a message that I heard years ago from Pastor Sammy down at God House Orlando. Basically, he was saying we need to, love God, love others, and love ourselves. And I questioned that concept. I did, and so basically my friend was also questioning the concept, and I saw it last night, but I didn't necessarily respond. Well, ultimately this morning I felt led to just go ahead and respond, and so I did and whatnot. And I found hopefully some resources that will help, my friend to understand that more, right? To help her understand, what the Lord had showed me all those years ago with the sermon that I heard and what I was basically imparting on the kids now. That, I mean, it does tell us to love God and then love others as we love ourselves. And when we look at that list, you see God, others, and then you see yourself. Now, again, I mean, Pastor broke it down in such a beautiful way that I can't sit here and attempt to repeat. And obviously that was years ago, over 10 years ago. Okay. But obviously it has stuck with me throughout my life since then, but still, I don't have all the eloquent words. So I did go to, I don't know if I put their website on here yet, but it might be a new resource. So I need to go ahead and probably add that to my list. But it's gotquestions.org. And that's where I found more information to share with my friend. And so yeah, if anybody else needs to go deeper about that idea as well, by all means, go and check out gotquestions.org and look at the articles about basically putting others before yourself, and then self-care and things like that. Because yes, I believe there's definitely room for self-care. Y'all know I got a whole little movement reminding women to take time to unwind, you know what I mean? So I totally understand that. And yes, we cannot pour from empty glasses, X, Y, and Z. But at the same time, when it comes to the Bible, right, or when it comes to the way that Christ loves us, it goes beyond our understanding. And therefore, Christ put us right above his own desires and wants and needs or whatever. And everything like that. Now, yes, he's, supernatural. He's God in the flesh. Obviously he got something a lot more deeper than us. But at the same time, it's possible for us to walk in that same, in those same footsteps, in that same way of life, or at least try, right? It behooves us to at least try and everything like that. So basically, I'm sharing this, right, to tell y'all that basically in me taking that time to address the question or whatever, it was my way of, right, putting my friend before myself. Like me, I didn't necessarily want to get on there and make it and do anything to make it seem like I wanted to debate this conversation. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I do understand that everybody can think what they want to think, believe what they want to believe. They got free will, X, Y, and Z. But I put my friend first, right, to share what had been shared with me, and everything like that. And so that's what I was receiving this morning. as well, alongside of everything else. So basically, after I did that, that's when the Lord had put 12:18 back on my heart and mind. And so then I looked into the verses again, and they were resonating so much where it was like, all right, well, I guess must be the topic for today on this 100th episode of the ninth season, So yeah, let's get into these verses, y'all. Let's get into what 12:18 brought forth this morning. So the first verse I feel led to share is Romans 12:18. It says, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. Yeah, live peaceably with all men. At the end of the day, I believe that true believers in Christ, like, yes, there's a time to stand, right? Yes, there's a time to rebuke. Yes, there's a time to, do the will of God, right? There's definitely time to do that all the time. But here it's telling us to live peaceably with all men. It's not for us to be arguing with everybody. You know what I mean? It's not for us to be, every time you see this person, they just, down your throat about whatever. At the end of the day, there's a way to live peaceably with all men. There's a way to give the truth in love. There's a way to show your love regardless of what somebody else do to you, and everything like that. I know it's not easy. I know that's hard. It's not a, again, easy idea and concept, but it's possible. Basically, it's possible. There's plenty of people that I probably don't agree with, but I don't treat anybody no differently just because I don't agree. Now, I think, once something crosses a line or whatever, then certain boundaries or whatnot have to be in place and whatnot. I believe there's balance when it comes to all of that. But when it comes to like how I deal with people day to day or whatever the case is, you can believe what you want to believe. Like I'm not sitting here, forcing nobody to listen to me, and vice versa. Like I would hope and pray that you don't force me to listen to you. At the end of the day, give me the free will that God gave me, and everything like that. So yeah, let's for the most, hey, live peaceably with all men. That's what the verse say. So let's keep going. So ultimately I got led to James 1:12-18. Now I know that's not necessarily 12:18, but it stood out. So I'm like, okay, I can go look at it. Now that's in the Go Deeper section. You guys can read the entire thing for yourself, but I feel led to share James 1:12. It says, blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. So, there's all kinds of temptations, y'all. Like I said, I was tempted to, not even go there when it came to my friend and the message. You know what I mean? Like I was tempted to, we all are tempted to do a lot of things in life. And so blessed are you who resist the temptations, right? You put others before yourself. Honestly, now I don't know. I guess what came into my heart and mind just now is like, it's a way, like putting others before yourself, for example. It can, how can I say this, Lord? It can kind of, in some ways, like shield what you do, right? Because if you acknowledge that, hey, what I do matters, what I do is going to affect the next person, then yeah, it would affect what you do, right? Like, like if you truly acknowledge, like, okay, my first priority is to honor God, then that already should take care of any type of sin. Like, because you wouldn't want to dishonor God, so therefore you wouldn't do any type of sin. Now, another thing that will hold you accountable in that is understanding that if I fall, if I sin, if I stumble, if I whatever, this is going to affect my neighbor in any capacity, whether that be, however you look at that. That could be family members, that could be community, that could be, your friends, that could, whoever you look at as your neighbor, the next person, someone outside of yourself. If you know that, okay, what I do is going to affect my relationship with God, what I do is going to affect my relationships with others, then that ultimately already puts something like some contingencies in place when it comes to your life and everything like that. So, it behooves us to resist all temptations. But again, how do we know what is a temptation and what is our own desire, right? Now, hey, I mean, a lot of times that goes hand in hand, to be honest. But I mean, hey, maybe we can seek the Lord about and use the sermon and whatnot when it comes to all of this, of course. But just saying that verse says, blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord has promised to them that love him. So there you go. Let's keep going. So then I was led to Hebrews 12, and I just pretty much put the whole thing in the go deeper section because I went to Hebrews 12 and 18. But it was one of those verses that I felt led to kind of go deeper, right? Go and see what the context is centered around it and whatnot. And basically, Hebrews 12 in its entirety was looking very interesting. But what I feel like sharing right now is Hebrews 12, 5 through 6. And it says, and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou chastening for the Lord, chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. So, obviously this reminded me of my little chastisement that happened last night. You know what I'm saying? Like, it reminded me of all of that. It don't feel good, right? To feel like you're getting disciplined, right? I know our son don't like the discipline. Sometimes he'll even say like, don't do that. Don't say those words. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? And we're the same way with the Lord and probably our own parents and everything like that. It doesn't necessarily feel good, but at the same time, you understand when you get a little bit older, right? When you get a little bit more mature, you'll start to see that, that is true love for someone to give you that correction. At the end of the day, we let again, I feel like I give this example years ago, but if I let my son do everything he wants to do, that's not love. That's not love. That's not good for him, nor the community or anything else. It does not benefit anything to let someone do everything that they want to do. We see, again, I just talked about this yesterday, with our free will, we see what people do with that. You are able to do anything that you want to do. And what do people do with it? All kinds of sin. From the greatest to the least, people do. And is that all beneficial? No. Does that affect the community? Yes. We can try to act and pretend like it don't, but it do. At the end of the day, what you do matters. What I do matters. And so, with that being said, like the verse here says that, let's not faint. Let's not, whine too much and all that stuff. I mean, pick yourself up, dust yourself off and try again. At the end of the day, the Lord loves us. Therefore, he, disciplines us, chastises us, however you want to look at it. And hopefully it helps us grow at the end of the day. It helps us to mature and to grow and everything like that, and our understanding as well, just in general. So, yep, that's what came to me this morning as I was reading that. The other verse that stood out to me was Hebrews 12 and 14. It says, follow peace with all men and holiness without which no man shall see the Lord. Like, I mean, I feel like this is one of them common verses, especially if you grew up in a Pentecostal holiness church. I feel like they say this when they get ready to leave and all these different type of things. But do you do it, friend? You can sit here and recite it all day long, but do you follow peace with all men and understand that holiness without no man, which no man shall see the Lord? And again, none of us is perfect or any of that. And that's why we need Jesus, right? That's why we need God to see Jesus and not us. when it comes to our life and the way we live and things like that. Again, I mean, I guess I don't know, y'all. There's just so much to say, but I guess not much else to say as well. You know, at the end of the day, these verses say what they say. I mean, in some ways, hey, again, they are all over the place, but in another way, I think, you know, I'm receiving that the general message here is to, you know, again, live peaceably with everyone. At the end of the day, be holy, right? Do what is right in the eyes of the Lord. Everything like that. When when it's time to stand, stand. When it's time to preach, preach. When it's time to rebuke, do all of that with holiness, with love, and everything like that. You know, but also, you know, again, don't, you know, when it's your time, right, to receive the rebuke and all that other stuff, accept it just as wholeheartedly. And I guess that's the juice, y'all. That is the juice today. Listen, the Bible verse of today is Luke 16:10. It says, he that is faithful, that which is least is faithful also in much. And he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day. And I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Now listen, today's Thursday. So that means that tomorrow is Friday and that we have a new episode of the GSL Talk Show coming out at 7 p.m. And we are going to be talking with a awesome YouTuber. She goes by It's Your Girl Sang. And so, yeah, I hope that you guys tune into that episode tomorrow, if the Lord's will. But yeah, as for your Thursday, I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. And I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow. Yes, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. There you go, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice. I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. Look, by me putting you above myself this morning and coming and doing the juice. Listen, I guess it's a little bit selfish with the juice as well, because it is totally for me as well. But I mean, it's for you too, whoever you are, right? Listening to the sound of my voice, especially if you're watching this thing to this point and you're seeing this, for you, friend, for you. Yes, I hope that you were encouraged and inspired. I love you, whoever you are. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, sharing, all those wonderful things. We are dangerously close to that 500 mark on YouTube, but I can't remember what our numbers are right now. It's 400 and something. Y'all help me get to the things for the subscribers. But you know what, man, I'll be honest with y'all. I feel like I shared this with y'all before. Of course, we're trying to reach the goals and stuff, but ain't it annoying to see ads and videos, like, especially when you're listening to something, right? Like, because I feel like even yesterday I was listening to the different messages and whatnot, and the ad would come in like right when I was saying amen, and I'm like, wait a minute, like, so I don't know, we'll see. I mean, obviously it would be good to hit the marks and to, you know, get the funding and all that different type of stuff, but on the other hand, I'm like, I'm gonna let the Lord, you know, I'm gonna let the Lord worry about my finances and everything. If you guys want to see my husband on the channel, I mean, that's supposed to be an incentive for y'all, you know, when I reach 1,000 subscribers and whatnot. But regardless of that, y'all, we gonna let the Lord do what he do. I'm not worried about it in any aspect at all. You know, as for this other stuff that, you know, looking into a venue and all that stuff, I mean, it will be great. I'm excited that I guess to go into partnership with Miss Summer Kai of Sky Designs on a space. So, you know, that's something that's, you know, we're chit-chatting about. And so we're going to see what the Lord do, y'all. The spaces yesterday were nice. Like I said, very affordable. And yeah, so if it be the Lord's will, it will happen. If it don't be the Lord's will, it will happen whenever it's supposed to. And yep, that's it, y'all. But listen, y'all, 9th season, excuse me, 100 episodes. That's crazy. So I guess I'll see y'all tomorrow in season 10, if the Lord's will. Y'all have a great Thursday. Bye.